Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your daily tarot reading. Thank you for joining me in this reading. I'm going to be using the Universal Weights deck and the Starseed Oracle deck. So remember to take what resonates and to leave behind whatever you feel does not from today's reading. So let's find out what messages come through with the cards for today. So the first card we have is the Six of Swords. You could be dealing with an air sign with this card, so a Gemini, Libra, or an Aquarius. Next, we have the King of Pentacles. So with the King of Pentacles, you could be dealing with an earth sign. So a Virgo, a Capricorn, or even a Taurus. And finally, we have the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. So the Seven of Pentacles, that shows that you could be dealing with an earth sign again. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Swords. Okay, so with the Ace of Swords at the bottom of the deck, this card is showing a lot of truth and a lot of honesty. So perhaps some honesty and some truth reveals some big there's a big revelation on this day, and it could be something that is perhaps very eye-opening, it's very enlightening, and it really brings perhaps a wider perspective on a situation. You are able to gain a lot more clarity as far as where you stand in a situation and where a situation stands. Also with this card, this shows that with that honesty, that clarity that is coming to you, you may be experiencing a breakthrough. This may be you being redirected in a direction that is going to be perhaps easier for you and even perhaps more peaceful is what I am getting. And it may be something that leads you to a place where you are better off than previously. So with the Six of Swords in this card, this is a card all about you being able to move away from a place that is difficult. So you may be also overcoming some difficulties in your own life or in a situation or in a relationship. This is all about being able to overcome any struggles and being able to move from a place that feels like it is conflicted and is challenging for you and move to a place where you are able to perhaps gain a lot more peace. Things are a little bit more easier for you and it may feel like things are calmer. So with this card, this is a card that shows you being able to make that move and also being able to perhaps put behind you what felt like it was a difficulty, a devastation, a struggle. This is you moving into a place where things flow a bit easier, more naturally. And this could be in the sense of your relationships, perhaps. This is a card that shows the ability to move on or the opportunity to move on, perhaps after a period of having had struggled through what may have been a very difficult time, a very troublesome period, but this is you getting the opportunity to perhaps also to come out of a dark space. You may be meeting somebody who's bringing more light into your world, somebody who is making life feel a little bit easier, shouldering that burden with you, and someone who is able to recognize what you go through but is also able to provide you with help and is also able to acknowledge and be of assistance, and they want to help you. They may really have some empathy for you, and I'm getting that this is someone who is a much better a much more compatible, much better companion perhaps, or partner. But this is somebody who is going to be who feels like a safer space, who provides a more of a safe haven to you. It's less difficult, it's not challenging, it doesn't feel like trying to force things. this is a more natural, easy flow and harmonious energy. And with the King of Pentacles, this could be representative of where you move on to or who you are meeting on this day. This is that more generous and even just more easy to work with energy on this day. So the King of Pentacles shows somebody who is great in the sense that they show up, they are a great provider, they are very faithful, they're also very diligent, and they know what to do in order to be able to provide that support to the people around them. And they're very generous with their abilities, their resources, and they are very open to being able to understand what you go through, and they're very considerate and generous in terms of their on an emotional level. They're very generous and they're very considerate. So with the King of Pentacles, getting that this may be representative of a person that perhaps you may be getting the opportunity to meet, and this could be somebody who is in direct contrast to perhaps what you have experienced in the past. Also, this may be you getting an opportunity to experience something different, something that feels much more compatible, lighter, easier. It doesn't feel like you have to be put to the test and pushed to the limits. This is something that is more, it embraces you in nature. So even with the Seven of Pentacles, this card in the reverse shows a very easy flowing energy. So this card shows harmony. It is easier to come by. It's not you having to perhaps work tirelessly to make sure something happens. You may need to work, but it isn't that energy of overexerting yourself. It is all about being able to recognize your progress and also being able to, you can see it. It is an energy that is very obviously right. It feels natural. And I'm getting that this is the energy of this day. Perhaps you may be getting to experience a breakthrough on this day. And I'm getting that with the Ace of Swords at the bottom of the deck, this is all about being able to look at a situation very honestly and being able to confront a situation very honestly. And that is what leads to this breakthrough. So there could be some truths that are also getting revealed perhaps at this time in a situation, but it is leading to an end to a difficult period is what I'm getting. The information that you gain with this Ace of Swords could be very helpful. In spite of whether it is difficult to hear. So the Ace of Swords can also be a double-edged sword in that sense. It can be difficult to palate the information, but ultimately that understanding and that knowing of that information leads to a breakthrough. So the nice thing about the Ace of Swords also is that that truth can be revealed to you perhaps with kindness. It can be a difficult truth that's revealed to you with kindness. So I'm going to pull out a card from this Starseed Oracle deck. Okay, so this is the card that came out. It says, loosen your grip, coping mechanisms, density, addiction, let God in. Okay, so this is a card all about being able to experience some kind of assistance. It can even be a divine intervention, but this card I am getting, what with it saying let God in, this shows that there is assistance. Somebody wants to help you, perhaps out of your struggle, perhaps out of a difficult situation. You may be getting to experience something that really does relieve your stress. It is something that lightens your burden as well. So that could be coming in the form of a person, an opportunity as well. What with aces, also showing an opportunity for a new beginning. So it could be you being presented with an opportunity, but it definitely lightens your load. It makes your situation easier. So I'm going to pull out a card from the Fairy Tarot deck. So this is the card that came out. It says Six of Summer, and it says at the bottom, children or childhood, the return of people or romances from your past, remembering events differently in a better or worse light than they really occurred. So the Six of Summer, this is a card that is very sweet. It shows you being able to perhaps delight in a connection that is very sweet in nature. It's someone who's very giving that could be coming into your life with this card as well. It is a card that also perhaps may represents perhaps the past connection that is coming back into your life and is able to perhaps provide you with assistance and is able to give to you in a way that is very sweet, that is very that can be very appreciated by you. Also with this card, it is also about being able to remember things very fondly. So you could be remembering things better or worse, in a better or worse light than they actually occurred. Okay, so I'm really getting that on this day, you seem to be moving away from turbulence and moving into a very calmer, more peaceful, more compatible space. So this could be perhaps about the way you are viewing the place you are leaving at this time. So this could also be bringing up a lot of feelings, a lot of emotions tied in with the place you are leaving. Okay, so that is all I am getting from today's reading. So I hope you have a wonderful day today, and I'll speak to you in tomorrow's reading. Bye, Sagittarius.